Hello everyone and welcome back to the Scratch tutorial series. In today's episode we are going to start making our very first project, that is Pen tool, by using keyboard. So let's see the objective that we are going to cover throughout this project. Firstly, we'll implement some keyword event, then we'll recall our conditional statements, and we'll introduce a new concept loop. So let's check out the first feature that we are going to implement today. The feature name is draw line. So you have already understand, through this feature we will be able to draw line. So we need a pointer, like say an arrow, that we will use it to move from one point to another. But not only move, but also we will draw that specific distance line. So let's check out the keys that we are supposed to use for this feature. We'll use the keypad from our keyboard to implement this movement of our arrow. From the keypad you can see that 1 to 9 keys are available, from where we will use 8 for the movement up, 2 for down, 6 for right, 4 for left, and 9, 3, 1, 7 for the diagonal movement. So now let's begin implementing our project. So our Scratch is loading. You can see here it is, Scratch 3.29.1. So just follow the step that I'm going to do so that you can make the project perfectly. So first our step is to change the backdrop. In this time I'm going to use backdrop that I am going to upload through this button. Choose a backdrop, go to upload backdrop, and here it is, my backdrop that I'm going to set it for this project. This can be the backdrop.2. So now open it. So after importing it perfectly, you can see this backdrop editor pane, from where you can change the size of it, and also you can fit it perfectly. So let me do it. For this you have to select the selection tool or select tool, very important. Then just Ctrl plus A from keyboard to select the whole thing, and just try to stretch it so that you can fit it perfectly. So now let me delete the other backdrop because we don't need it. Then again go to code. Now this time to change our sprite and make an arrow shape sprite is very important. So first select your sprite 1, the default sprite, go to costumes, then delete the second one because we don't need it. We only need one costume for this project. Now Ctrl plus A again, then press backspace from your keyboard, so there will be no sprite, right? Sprite is gone. So here is a tool. Just try to understand how simply you can make an arrow. I'm going to use only this oval and this rectangle tool. Just follow the steps. So that's it. You can see that making this sprite is really easy if you can understand the steps. So after making our pointer, you can see that this is a little bit bigger, right? So we have to make it smaller. It's so simple. Just take your this size option. Just let me decrease the size like 20. I hope it's good. So let me maximize it. Wow, I hope that is really good. So now just follow the code that you have to use to make the movement whenever you press your num keys, right? That means 8, 6, 2, 4 for moving towards up, down, right, left. Okay, very important. So for this you have to follow the steps, like first you need an event to recall. Then let me use the button 8 for this. Very good. Then just go to motion and just try to understand this point in direction thing, because let me just use this custom again. As you can see that by default I have created this sprite that is moving towards right, because the default direction is towards right. Can you see that? Really important, right? So now try to understand, whenever this 8 is pressed means the sprite will move towards up. So you have to use the directional handle to move it towards up. So simple, just put it like this way towards up, so it will be 0 in values. So now we have to move, let's say we'll move only 5 steps after rotating perfectly. So we can use this is this block, so just duplicate it, just change the value to 2 for the next movement, that means towards down. So for this you have to use the direction towards down, that means 180 degree. Then you have to duplicate it again. Now just change this value to, let's say, 6. That means you're going to implement the movement for the right, so it will be 90 degree obviously. Then again let me duplicate it. See, it's so easy. Then just take 4 and change the direction towards minus 90 degree, that means towards left. So important. After making successfully the movement, the normal movement up, down, right arrow, you have to implement the code for the diagonal movement. Like whenever you press 9, it will move towards up and right corner, right? So it has to be, say, 45 degree, positive one. Okay, just follow the direction, so important. Then duplicate it again, just try to understand. Whenever you press let's say 1, it will move towards down right, so it will be 135 degree positive. Then again I'm going to duplicate it and just change the value to 3 and change the direction. This time it will be minus 135, means it will go down left diagonally. Then again last one for our key 7, and you have already understood that this will be obviously minus 45, right? So easy. So now let's just check if it is working or not. So whenever I'm pressing 8, it's moving up. Wow, very good. Then 2 for down, 6 for right, 4 for, say, left, 9 for this diagonal position, and 3 will be used for, oh, there is a problem. Whenever I press 1, it's moving towards, right down, so we have to change it. Let me check. Whenever I press 1, it has to be minus 135, and whenever I press 3, it has to be 135. Okay, so you have to change the code. So simple. So now let's check it again. 3 for this corner and 1 for that corner. 9 is working fine, and also 7 is working fine. Wow, good. So after implementing this, you need to use another event call, that is, say, whenever we press D, we can down our pen. Like you have to add the pen extension, obviously. Go to that add extension button, then click pen. Then you have the feature of pen tool, right? So just use pen down, D for down, then duplicating it, and let's say whenever we press U, so our pen will be up. So just take pen up. Wow, great, right? So now let's check it. Whenever I press D, So if you move, you can see, you can draw a line, obviously. Wow, good, very good. So that you can really make your own shape by using this tool. But whenever you say press U, then if you move, there is no line. Wow, it's really working fine. Very good. So I think that you can already understand that what we are going to make throughout this project. It's really important, right? Okay, and there is another feature that we are going to implement now, that is whenever we press, let's say, our normal up arrow from that navigational keys, from our keyboards, we will change our sprite size. How can we do that? It's really important. Go to looks, then let's say change size by, let's say 5. Okay, and just duplicating it and putting it over there. When down, press down arrow and it will be -5. This is because this time we are going to decrease the size, right? So let's say whenever we press this up arrow, wow, it's just, you know, increasing the size of our sprite. Then if you put down arrow, it just decrease the size. Really important, right? So we can see that we have already implemented this all feature. Just have a look so that you can implement it by your own. Okay. So now this is the time for making our reset key, because after drawing any stuffs on the canvas, we must need a call, right, reset, through which we can clean our stage or canvas, right? So let's just try to understand what we have to do. Let's say whenever we press the button R stands for, let's say, reset. Okay, so we'll be able to clear all the step, and let's say we'll move our sprite into the middle center point, like I mean the 0 0 coordinates, like x value will be 0 and y value will be 0. So you have already understand that we have to use our go to x and y whenever we press R, and the value will be 0. And let's say the point in direction will be the default one, 90. That means it will move towards right. Then we have to use some pen block like erase all. Okay, so now let's just check it if it's work or not. So let's lay down something like, yes, drawing very well. You can change the size. Now I'm pressing R, everything is clear, right? Wow, really great. Now let me show you how can we implement code to change the default size of our line. So we have to click another event, obviously. Then let's say whenever we press S for size. Okay, so you have to put the keys especially meaningful so that you can understand which key is refers to which action. Okay, very important. Now let me take the pen tool, so from where you can change size by 1, means whenever you press S, so your size of the pen will be, I mean drawing the stuff will be changed by 1, so it will increase by 1. Okay, so then let's say we have to duplicate it to make another event call, that is C. C stands for color changing. So whenever we press C, we can change our pen color. This time we are going to use the default value, that is 10. Okay, so now let's check. Let me draw something first. Okay, by default it's blue. So whenever I press S, is increase the size. Oh, great. Now whenever I press C, is change the color, right? Very important. So far we have implemented a lot of things that is regarding to this movement of our sprite, that how can you save your project. It's so simple because as we are going to develop it throughout multiple episodes, so we need to save our project, right? So you have to go to file, then just click on the save to your computer option, and then you will get the directory. Let's say I'm going to save it on this directory, so I'm going to put the name first. Let's say KPT ongoing project. So simple. Just click on the save. That's it. So you're done. So that's all for today. I hope that you have understand it, and just wait for the next episode. Till then, try to implement this whole thing, and if you got any problem, try to troubleshoot it by your own. And if you have any question, you can just put them in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much.